channel. This is Nisha Jaram here. So hope everyone is doing fine and safe at home. So in today's video, I'll be teaching you what is pricing and what are the different types of pricing. Okay. So a producer or product produce panna pomodhu, what are the different factors that he actually keeps in his mind before fixing a price. Okay. So in the pennuku vanditu idhaan vilainu solittu avar ennala factors ஞாபகத்துல வெச்சிட்டு அவர் அந்த price fix பண்றாரு. So that is what I'll be teaching you today. So let us see what is pricing first. Okay. So what is a price? What is a price? Okay. So when you go to a market, okay. So when you go to a market, you find different products there. Market ku poga pomudhu neenga nariya products paakreenga. So each and every product in the market has its own value. Do you agree with that? So this is one statement like we have to agree, right? So நம்ம பார்க்குற எல்லா பொருளுக்கும் there is one value which is created. You take anything. There is nothing free of cost in this world. Okay. So நம்ம என்ன பொருள் எடுத்தாலுமே அந்த பொருளுக்கு ஒரு விலை இருக்கு. Okay. So that is what we call to be price. So every product in the market has its own value. So if a product is going to have its own value, we call it to be pricing. Right? And we'll see what are the different types of pricing. So first let me cover what is cost plus pricing and penetrating pricing. So this will actually come in part 1, okay, and like this will be covering in a part 2 video. So the first type of pricing is cost plus pricing, right? So let me teach you this pricing with an easy formula, okay. Expenses plus profit margin or a reasonable profit. So RP actually stands for reasonable profit, okay. So let me say, for example, if I have to produce a purse, you imagine like I am a manufacturer, like who's manufacturing purses, okay. So the price of a purse, I have to fix a price for that purse, okay, because the market we in introduction we studied that each and every product is going to have its own value. So in that I have to fix a price for my purse. So na eppadi fix pandren appadina and the purse tayarikkiradhukku, okay, to manufacture that purse, what is the expenses that has incurred? Okay, so expenses evlo aayirukku appadina 1000 rupees aayirukanga. Okay, 1000 rupees enna aayirukku and the purse manufacture pandradhukkaga enakku 1000 rupees expenses aayirukku plus. So profit in the இடத்துல வந்துட்டு I am not going to have like a lump sum profit. நான் already formula சொல்லிட்டேன். It's going to be a reasonable profit. Like ரொம்ப அதிகமான profitல இருக்க போறது இல்ல. So நான் பண்ண expensesல இருந்து for example say 10%, okay, like which is 100 rupees, okay, which is 100 rupees. So what would be the price of my product? It would be like 1100. So cost plus pricing mean if a manufacturer is going to fix a price for a product based on the expenses that has incurred, okay. So அவன் பண்ண expenses cover பண்றதுக்காக மட்டும் தான் அவன் அந்த price fix பண்றான்னா you can tell it to be cost plus pricing, right? So இந்த பென்னை தயாரிக்கிறதுக்கு எனக்கு 20 rupees ஆச்சுன்னா இப்போ நான் போட்ட 20 எனக்கு திருப்பி வேணும் அவ்வளவுதான். So this is cost plus pricing. 20 rupees ஆயிருக்கு இந்த மார்க்கெட் செய்யறதுக்கு, okay, ஒரு 5 rupees எக்ஸ்ட்ராவா நான் எனக்கு profit வேணும், okay. So 20 plus 5 will give you 25 rupees, okay. I'll repeat it once again. Cost plus pricing is where the manufacturer will set a price for his product just to cover, okay, just to cover the expenses that has incurred. So expenses plus a reasonable profit will give you the actual value of the product, right? So let us see what are the advantages of using this cost plus pricing. So cost plus pricing or like or manufacturer nama use பண்ண போறோம் அப்படினா first advantage என்ன இருக்குன்னா it's very easy, ரொம்ப easy determine பண்றதுக்கு. Why? Because நம்ம cost plus pricingல என்ன படிச்சிருக்கோம், ஒரு பொருளுக்கு நான் விலை வந்து தீர்மானிக்க போறேன் அப்படினா what is one factor that you will keep in your mind always? It's going to be only expenses, okay. So you will keep in mind only the expenses that has incurred so that it becomes very easy to determine, okay. And the second advantage is that they say it's a very simple way of calculating your value for the product. Why? Because in our upcoming videos we'll be studying what are the different kinds of pricing techniques. So adala compare panna pogumbodhu this becomes like one of the easiest technique ever, okay. And the third one is here you need not depend upon your other environmental data, okay. ஒரு product ku ஒரு value நீங்க fix பண்ண போறீங்க அப்படினா you concentrate only on your expenses, okay. You don't concentrate on the demand, you don't concentrate on the supply, you do not concentrate on the taste and preferences, okay, your social environment, your technological environment, nothing, yes. So you here your own data is enough. Like உங்ககிட்ட இருக்கிற data மட்டுமே போதும் to fix like what is the price for your product, right? So let us discuss the disadvantages of having cost plus pricing in the market. So we very well studied that. What is cost plus pricing? The manufacturer will set a price for his product based on the expenses that he has made plus reasonable profit. Okay. So when a manufacturer actually does this, the main disadvantage that he will face is future demand. Okay, he will not know what will actually happen in the future. Why? Because our price are fixed panniter. Okay, our price are fixed panniter. So our previous example like 1,000 rupees our expenses are. So he wants only 10% of the profit. Okay, let us keep it to be 100. So the whole price of the product is only 1,100. Okay, so you take what is today's date. Okay, might be August 2. Okay, so August 2, 2021. So what will happen in Jan 1, 2022? So will the environment stay the same thing? Because we have already studied like n number of times saying that business environment is dynamic in nature. It's not stable at all. It keeps changing. Okay, the taste and preferences, the demand will change. So if you fix a product, if you fix a price for a product, say 1,100, it will not remain same throughout the year. Okay, so on the main thing that you will face is you will not be able to meet the future demand. Okay, and the second disadvantage is that this cost plus pricing concentrates more on the sunk cost. Okay, concentrates more on the sunk cost. So the meaning of sunk cost is the past cost. Okay, the past cost is, which means all the expenses, because ஒரு பர்ஸை ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்றதுக்கு நான் 1,000 rupees வந்து போட்டிருக்கேன், என்னோட இன்புட்டா போட்டிருக்கேன்னா that is one expenses which I cannot take it back. Am I right? So இங்க என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா இந்த cost plus pricingல it gives more of importance to the sunk cost, which means past cost which has already incurred but cannot be taken back. Okay, so இந்த இடத்துல actually நம்ம என்ன பண்ணியிருந்திருக்கோம்னா we should have given more of importance to the opportunity cost. So here that one point is lagging, right? We give lot of importance to the sunk cost because we very well know that is a cost which is incurred. You cannot take it back ever. But opportunity cost, you have to give importance to the alternatives. Inga adu nadakla. Okay, so this is the second disadvantage. And the third disadvantage is that you don't pay attention to your competitors' action. Yes, you don't pay attention to your competitors' action. Why? Because in today's scenario, when you are yet to produce a product, the first thing that you have to do is you have to check like what your competitors are doing. So what kind of quality that they are giving, what is the price for the product, so in which channel are they actually telecasting their advertisement. So this is one kind of pricing which does not give importance to any of this. You don't give importance to the demand of the future. You don't give importance to the opportunity cost, which is very important. And finally, you don't give importance to your competitors' action. You don't at all look like what your competitors doing. Why? Because you can win a race only if you know the strategy of your competitor. Am I right? So here that is actually not happening, right? So we saw what is cost plus pricing, the advantages and disadvantages of cost plus pricing. So let's move on to penetration pricing. Yeah. So the second type of pricing is penetration pricing. Okay, penetration pricing. So what do the manufacturers actually do at this stage? How do they actually fix their product? So here they take up a strategy where they fix the price of the product very low. Okay, initially they set the price of the product very low. Why do they fix very low? Why? Because they need like n number of customers to enter into their market, and later on, once when they reach their market share, okay, once when they reach their market share, or they might have a margin like where they have to attain. Okay, like ஒரு point இருக்கும், இந்த point நான் attain பண்றதுக்காக தான் நான் வந்து கம்மியான விலைக்கு வந்து அந்த பொருளை நான் வித்துக்கிட்டே இருக்கேன். So once in the point நான் touch பண்ணிட்டேன் அப்படின்னா then I'll start charging high for the product, right? So penetration pricing is where when you enter the market, okay, when you enter the market as a very new product, you fix very low for the product. Okay, why do you fix very low? Why? Because you have to attain the market share that you already wanted to. And once when you attain, what happens there? Once when you attain the market share, you start increasing your price. So by the time when you travel from here to here, what happens? You start getting like number of people inside you. Am I right? You start attracting like n number of customers. So So this is one kind of strategy which actually happens in penetrating pricing. Okay, penetration pricing. So what happens here? When a product enters a market, they set very low. Okay, why do they set low? They have to attain the market share, and once attaining that, they start increasing the price. So let us take the case study of Jio. Okay, so when Jio entered the market, what happened? Okay, so it is actually a telecom sector, am I right? So when Jio entered, we had Airtel and we had Vodafone, and let us take, okay, like 2-3 telecom carriers which were actually there. So when this Jio actually came into the market, the same thing is what they did. Okay, they just did penetration pricing. So when they came into the market, how was their price? It was like very low, very low. We were very surprised to see, oh my god, a telecom sector is providing service in such a rate. Okay, so same thing, they came into the market and they told that 3 months it's going to be free. People were very happy. Okay, and they again announced as a new offer. They told that okay, we are going to extend for 3 more months again. So it becomes 6 months. Okay, so I think when comparing to all this telecom, all these network service providers, Jio was one network which was able to attract n number of subscribers in just 5 or 6 months. Okay, that was not possible for all these telecom providers. Am I right? It was not possible for all of them. So what did they actually do there? They adopted a pricing called penetration pricing. So after 1 year, so what would have happened? After 1 year, they attained their share value. Okay, they said, so this was their actual target of Jio. So penetration pricing is where when you enter the market, you set the price of your product to be very low. Okay, and once when you attain your market share, you just go back to the same price, like and the same higher price like what your competitors are actually giving. So let us discuss what are the advantages of having penetration pricing. Okay, so the first advantage of having penetration pricing is that you start diffusing people. Okay, you start diffusing people. It means that there is a group of people here. Okay, there's a group of people. For example, take I just don't want to name any service provider. For example, let us take X. Okay, like before Jio enters into the market, they were around like there were so many people in this circle. Okay, so when Jio actually entered into the market, what did the Jio do? Jio started diffusing people. It means that like half of the ratio of this circle came to this circle, which is Jio. Okay, so the high concentration area, okay, it's been diffused now, it's been scattered. Okay, so this is the very first advantage of penetration pricing. Okay, you start attracting all your customers. And the second one is you get a very good goodwill. Okay, so I think whoever is watching this video, when Jio actually entered in the market, even you were one kind of customer who was just like, oh my god, it's very nice. Okay, I'm going to take Jio SIM. Confirm idha nadandirukku. Okay, so the second one is the goodwill will almost increase. Okay, when you get penetration pricing. And the third advantage is that you don't allow your competitors to enter into the market. Why? Because when any new telecom provider is actually coming, okay, like we very well know, Jio is the one who was providing the least price. Okay, so ivare least if a new telecom provider actually comes inside, it becomes a burden for him. Am I right? Because ivare least onna na ivarukku least kudukunu, na ivarukku mele kudutuna no one will subscribe to my service. Am I right? So you don't allow, okay, you restrict all your competitors who are coming inside. So I think that is one biggest advantage. Okay, like you become a king of that particular product. You don't leave anyone coming into your market. Okay, so I think these are the 3 advantages of having penetration pricing. So let us discuss what are the disadvantages of having penetration pricing. Okay, so the disadvantage is the same thing what we saw in the very first point as an advantage. Okay, so there are 2 circles here. Okay, there was one group of people who was using a product or experiencing a service, and when they came to know that they get something for low, okay, something which is very cheap, what happened? People started diffusing. Okay, so the same thing might happen even for the penetration pricing also. First they set it very low, okay, to reach their market share, and once it is reached, what will happen? They will start increasing the price. Okay, so there are so many chances that even the Jio subscribers can move on to their own network. So that might be one disadvantage of having penetration pricing. Okay, so the second disadvantage is that the firm cannot use penetration pricing for a long run. Okay, this is not possible at all. Okay, so how many products are there like which is very cheap in the market? They cannot prolong with the same price of the product. Okay, so penetration pricing is not successful in the long run, right? So I hope you like this video, and if you do have any doubts, do comment down, and let us continue the remaining two pricing in the next video. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, guys. If you do like the video, subscribe, and thank you.